Hey there guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be solving a really nice system of equations that involves radicals, and that makes it interesting actually. So we have the square root of x minus the square root of y equals 2 times the square root of x times y, and we have x plus y equals 20. And obviously we want to solve for x and y values. So let's go ahead and do that. And in order to do that, first of all, let's go ahead and start with the first equation where we have the square root of x minus the square root of y equals 2 times the square root of x times y. Great. Now, one of the things that we do whenever we have radicals is to square both sides, because in that way, we're going to get rid of some radicals. So in this case, if we do that, we're going to get rid of the radical on the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and square both sides. So we're going to get x plus y minus 2 times the square root of x times the square root of y, which is the same thing as the square root of x times y. And on the right-hand side, we're going to have 4 times x times y. Great. Now, if you look at the given system of equations, you can see that x plus y is equal to 20. So I can go ahead and replace this with 20. So we have 20 minus 2 times the square root of x times y equals 4 times xy. Great. Now, if you look at this, everything is divisible by 2, so I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by 2. So we're going to get 10 minus the square root of xy equals 2 times xy. Great. Next, let's go ahead and move everything on the same side. So I'm going to write this as 2xy plus the square root of x times y minus 10 equals 0. Now, if you look at this equation, you can see that this is the square of this. So if I replace this with u, this is going to be u squared. So I'm going to go ahead and use substitution method and say that we have u squared, actually 2u squared plus u minus 10 equals 0. So this is a simple quadratic equation. And in order to solve this for u, I'm going to go ahead and use the quadratic formula. So if we do that, we're going to have u equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared, which is 1, minus 4 times 2 times negative 10, which is going to be positive 80, all divided by 2 times 2, which is going to be 4. So this is equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 81 divided by 4. And notice that the square root of 81 is 9, so we have negative 1 plus or minus 9 divided by 4. From this, I can say that u is either equal to 2 or it is equal to negative 5 divided by 2. Now remember that u is equal to the square root of x times y, which means that u is positive. Therefore, this is not a valid solution. And the only valid solution for u is 2. So u equals 2, which means that the square root of x times y is 2, and that means that x times y is 4. Great. So up till this point, we found out that x times y is 4, and you were given that x plus y is 20. So x plus y is 20. Great. So let's go ahead and use these two equations to solve for x and y. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and write either of x or y in terms of the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and use the second equation, x plus y equals 20, and write y in terms of x. I'm going to write y as 20 minus x. And then I'm going to use this and replace y in this one to solve for x. So if you do that, we're going to have x times, remember that y is 20 minus x, so we have 20 minus x equals 4. From this, I'm going to get a quadratic equation. We're going to get 20x minus x squared equals 4. And now if you put everything on the same side, we're going to get x squared minus 20x plus 4 equals 0. Again, we're going to use the quadratic formula. And if you do that, we're going to have x equals negative 20 is going to be 20 plus or minus the square root of 20 squared is going to be 400 minus 4 times 4 is 16. So we're going to have 400 minus 16, which is 384. And this is divided by 2. 384 is 64 times 6. Therefore, I can pull out the square root of 64 and write it as 8. So we have x equals 20 plus or minus 8 times the square root of 6, all divided by 2. Now I can simplify this and write it as x equals 10 plus or minus 4 times the square root of 6. Great, so we solved for x values. Now we need to use these x values to solve for y values. So remember that x plus y is equal to 20. Let's go ahead and use these two to solve for y. So we have two scenarios. Either x is equal to 10 plus 4 times root 6, or x is 10 minus 4 times root 6. So in the first case, I can go ahead and say that y is 10 minus 4 times the square root of 6. And in the second case, I can say that y is 10 plus 4 times the square root of 6. Because in this way, 4 times root 6 is going to be canceled out, and 10 plus 10 is going to be 20, which is what we have over here. Great, so this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing for more contents like this, and hit the like button if you enjoyed watching this. Hopefully I will see you later. Goodbye for now.